So this is the drug called Stilnox, which we used to give Sam, and it states on the back to give him 10 milligrams, which is 1 tablet. The first day we noticed a huge increase in his alertness, his responses when he moved, but no speech at all. And then after about 6 or 7 days, I thought, what's the point of not trying more? What's the worst that can happen? He's already had a stroke. What's the point of not trying a little bit more? So I gave him 15 milligrams. So I just make sure it's really nice and crushed well so it can go down the peg. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give Sam the drug. So it just like clips on. So we just put it in with a little bit of water and make sure it goes all the way down. So Sam's now had the drug and it's exactly 2 o'clock. And I sat there with great trepidation thinking this is going to go one of 2 ways. He's either going to be okay or it's not going to work and something terrible could happen. What do you want to eat? Weet-Bix. So over about 15 or 20 minutes I was watching him and slowly his face just started to relax. Come on, we can have a hug. Biggest smile I've seen since he's been sick, and he'd giggle and laugh. He thinks we're very funny. I'm just a big feeding cow that comes along and just cooks all day, aren't I? And then he just started joining in our conversation. It was amazing.
Hi, mate. How are you? How are you? That's good. What have you been doing? Not much, eh? You've been having a bit of a sleep?
What are you doing, Sam?
I'm talking.
You are a talking, aren't you? How do you feel?
Fucking great.
You feel great, don't you?
I feel fucking great.
What have you been thinking in your mind the whole time for 15 months that you couldn't talk? What was the one thing that you thought, if I can talk again, I'll say it?
I love you so much,
Oh, I love you too. One of the first things he said was, let's get married tomorrow. And I said, don't you think that's a little bit quick? And he said, okay, next week. On second thoughts, 2 weeks.
And what's it been like having Sally with you?
Unbelievable. She's my queen. Oh, Ohio Queen Sally. Ohio Queen Sally. I love you so much, baby.
I love you too.
It was fantastic. It made me smile on the inside. We had our Sammy back. He was still cheeky and he was still, you know, having a go at everyone and having a laugh and he was in good spirits about it and he had a good attitude about it, which means he'll fight all the way to the end.
It's a miracle. For 15 months I was trapped in my body. I could not communicate verbally at all. And now I can.
The joy we felt was just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I couldn't even start to express it.
I've been blank, I've been in a dark place.
And have you been wanting to talk that whole time?
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's just not coming out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
Just that first day was enough to know that he's definitely in there and he's fine and he doesn't have brain damage like they've said all along. The muscles in his mouth are so tight that he can't chew without the drug.
I'm really excited about these days.
Do you want another one?
Yes, I love another one.
We get about an hour a day of clear, really solid vocal communication, and then it starts to wear off.
It's very difficult to comprehend the fact that I can talk now. And in an hour or so, I won't be able to talk at all. It sucks. It really sucks.
The most frightening time of taking the Stilnox is when it starts to wear off because you can see Sam's face start to tighten up. You are better now. You've come
And you're getting better all the time.
360. His words start to slow down, they become very slurred, and he starts to panic.
Feels good, mate.
and he gets very emotional and upset because he doesn't want to lose the ability to talk. And he doesn't want to regress back into feeling trapped inside of his body. So it's painful. It's really painful to watch him go through that after about an hour every day. It's all right. It's all right. Just breathe.
It's very hard to see. It would be insane torture for him. It would be like being in a prison that he couldn't make noise from, couldn't move from, couldn't do anything. I think for him it would be torture. Yeah, absolute torture.
Can you use your words and not your signs? At the moment, we are really searching the internet, just looking for someone that can help us. So we really have no guidance at all as to what we should be doing in regards to the drug, if it's safe to give over a long period of time, how much to give, how often. We'll do it all again tomorrow.
Can we have longer? Can we have 2 windows a day? Can we have 2 hours? Is it possible? How will it affect him? How is it affecting his brain?
Can you hear me, Sam?
Yes, I can.
Say hello to Wally, Sam. Hello.
Hello, Sam. That is absolutely wonderful to hear your voice.
Thankfully, given our lack of support here, we were lucky to find Dr. Wally Nell in South Africa.
It changed my life completely.
Now, this is the guy who pioneered the use of this drug for brain injury victims.
Life-changing.
Yes.
It was, in fact, his patient who first discovered the use of Stilnox by chance.
I've seen so many patients in my life through the years, I'd say 600 people all over the world now. I can really see it in your eyes from the time that you started taking the pill until now. You can see the sparkling eyes. It changes this person, not all of them. We have the results where we get nothing. But it changes that person in 20 minutes from what he was into what he is.
Over the last decade, basically, Dr. Wally Nell and I have been working on trying to figure out how this drug works. I'm a nuclear medicine physician by training, and what we do is we do brain SPECT scans. So this is before zolpidem, that's after zolpidem. Quite a clear change. In every brain injury, it seems to have a part of the brain which is destroyed and another part which is suppressed. And what Stilnox or zolpidem does, it reverses the suppressed part of the brain. The brain begins to work again. We published a clinical trial last year. 23 patients we isolated, and 10 of them showed a response between 10 and 20% improvement in their functioning, some up to 40%. This is, of course, a fairly small clinical trial. We would consider this as a pilot study, but I think we are getting there slowly but surely.
Generally in medicine, we try and practice evidence-based medicine. We will not institute things that we are not comfortable have been adequately tested. And from my understanding, Stilnox is still experimental, and it's fantastic that Sam has responded to it. And not for 1 minute would I suggest that Sam does or doesn't take it. It's out of my domain. I'm not a neurologist, but it is not in the domain of evidence-based practice yet.
Certainly a few years ago there was some concern about some of the adverse reactions to Stilnox when it was being used as a sleeping pill. I suspect that that's one of the reasons for reluctance to endorse the use of the medication widely.
Move in.
Having said that, I think it is exciting. Certainly if it was me who had the brain injury, I would want people to try whatever they could to try and help.
Rather than give him 15 milligrams at once, we might get hallucinations and we might get this drowsiness.
We're taking great care in monitoring the side effects of this.
Only when we give him 15 milligrams in one
He sometimes gets a bit hyped, and Dr. Nell was very helpful in guiding us on that one.
Go slow, don't go and rush in there, please. What I saw on the Skype this morning, it can get very good. It can get very good to him. You observe it, note down what he does, and you get the right doses. He's responded, and he will not stop responding. There's no cut-off time for this. It's not like the film Awakening. There's no resistance building up against this. And Sam will get better.
Wally, we're all very grateful.
Thank you so much.
In talking with Wally Nell and also looking at Professor Klaus's research, we're hoping and aiming now for a very full recovery against all odds. That might seem unrealistic to some, but that's the way we are.
Okay, again.
Now that Sam's home, Sally's also moved in with us. She's taking a few months off work, which I think will make an enormous difference to Sam. Just to help him go that next stage.
Yes, again.
I do feel like we've been able to reconnect as a couple. It's been really nice because we've had just quiet times together, just chatting about how each other feels. What is your vision like?
I try not to ask Sally too many deep questions that maybe she doesn't want to answer, but I did today. So I asked her, is 1 hour a day of still knocks enough for you for the rest of your life, Sal? And she said, Mum, Sam lights a fire in my heart. Yes, it is.
I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
I love you too. Okay. Sam's really excited to get married. So when he's a little bit more able to move around and talk freely, then we'll definitely get married.
Thank you everybody for your continued support.
If this is the best it is, then we have a great life.
I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby.
She was quite an intelligent, educated woman, and if this could happen to her, it was terrifying to think that this could happen to anyone.
It's not as if someone simply developed cancer and then died.
This was not about Penelope. It was about destroying Peter Dingle.
Of course, the allegation, Peter, is that you killed your wife.
If she'd have seen what happened to Pete, she would have been devastated.
I'm not the culprit. I was Pen's best friend.